Yes, here we go guys, we're back for some more F1 24 My Team, and this one is a big episode because, as you know, a patch dropped yesterday, essentially making 110 AI harder to beat, faster and more difficult. So let's talk about it and let's see if that translates. Now, we renewed our sponsorship with Opaque as one of our secondary sponsors. You can see level 20 is the next unlock, and we are currently level 18. So we are very close to adding another sponsor and increasing our cash flow. Now guys, the previous episode will be linked in the top right. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Before we jump into more spoilers, we're going to get into this one though, starting off with our activities for the weekend. Now we're going to go focus heavily on teamwork and also Jamie Chadwick to sharpen her up for this race at Baku. The last race at Monza was absolutely historic. We took a tactical grid drop. We started last and we won the whole damn thing. Again, go check it out, link in the top right. But anyway, upgrade wise, we purchased a diffuser upgrade, and also we've received 2 updates as soon as we skip ahead on the timeline. So we're taking steps forward and we're getting things ready for the final push for the final few rounds of season number 1.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Now with that out the way, we begin today's episode with the weather forecast. You can see no rain expected, confirmation of those 2 upgrades arriving plus 2 others, so quite satisfyingly in a way, 1 per department. So that's going to give us a nice boost. However, I forgot to change my colour again, and that's the way to do it. You have to change your team colour every single race to basically get the stripe to update. But we haven't got that right now. Either way, we're somewhere between Aston Martin and B-Carb, so you can go figure where we are. In the championship, we're 2 points behind Carlos Sainz, and we're 10 points ahead of Lando Norris. The last race, we did some serious damage, and today we could move into the runner-up spot in the drivers' fight. In the constructors, I still think 5th is going to be where we finish. It's going to be really hard to catch Mercedes as a one-man army right now, with Chadwick yet to score a point this season. But anyway, we're going to jump into practice, into FP1. Currently doing our race runs here. We've had 4 consistent good laps, and I pretty much almost got quicker each lap around. Also, you can see an update to the halo. We've done a little reskin job to make it look a lot better and fit the car, also adding a few extra sponsors.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Again, I'll be releasing all of the liveries and this entire mod package at the end of the season, and there's still one more special livery yet to be revealed, which I can't wait. Most likely Vegas will be the scenario for the livery. But anyway, practice went well. You can see our tyre was excellent, fuel burn decent. We got faster every single lap. And there was one thing that stood out to me after practice. Jamie Chadwick finished a 10th behind us, P15. That's the best I've seen her finish in practice in a long time, if not maybe all season. So that was encouraging and a positive step. Now for the weekend, we are going to switch to a newer energy store because it's a power circuit and we need charge. We'll go back to the older one for the next race in Singapore, along with a few older components. But yeah, we had a good session. We scored maximum points. We also picked up a whole bunch of discounts as well, which is going to really help us out and help us move forward. So a good weekend start overall, everything moving well, getting closer to level 20 to unlock that extra secondary sponsor. But yeah, it's time now for qualifying. Let's get to work.
It is a truly unique layout. Welcome to Baku and welcome to qualifying.
Now then, we begin the session with our first run of the day. Sunset conditions, so visibility is actually quite difficult at certain points of the track. Now we cleared a bit of traffic on the initial part of the lap. We're now apparently purple in sector 2, and we've got a bit more traffic here with Alonso as Russell goes quickest, 137.1. We clear all the slower cars though and have a decent first lap, to be fair. Definitely the car felt really good. probably a bit more time in it because, you know, the first lap is never going to be the quickest. There's always more time to ramp it up with. But we do a 1:37.499. We go P3, and that's not a bad start. Now, we're going to go for, as always, a second attempt on my first run. We always go for 2 timed laps, so we took a quick cool-down lap, and we're going to go for another push. And we're going to look to try and improve, starting off with turn 1. Braking at the curb on the right, 4th gear corner, but we just clip the barrier and lose part of our wing.
Okay, you've got front wing damage. This will have a major impact on performance unless you box for a new one.
So that's kind of in the bin. So we return to the pits, and with 5 minutes to go, we're P7. We own the middle sector, but the first and the third are a little bit off. Leclerc is setting the pace there, 3 tenths up on his teammate. So definitely time to find, for sure. So we're going to try and do that on this final run. There wasn't any glaring mistakes, just basically commitment. You have to really commit here to be quick. So we're going to see what we can try and do. We're going to turn the battery on now, and we're going to get our lap started. So let's get into it for a full qualifying lap of Baku with some good old-fashioned engine notes. Yep, we'll take that. P6, that was a quality lap. Sector 3, not great, but 1 and 2 were brilliant. However, Charles Leclerc dropped the hammer on everyone. Each and every last one of us. He grabbed pole by nearly 6/10 of a second at Baku. We know Leclerc in real life is a bit of a Baku specialist, and that confirmed it. Elsewhere, Verstappen and Sainz actually set the same time in P2. Also, Jamie Chadwick with her best qualifying of the season, and she was only a whisker off P15. And not just that, she finished 7/10 off us. So that's a real step in the right direction and some genuine improvement from her. In regards to the 110 AI, it's hard to say. Baku has been an easy track in the past, and definitely seemed like there was a bit more competition there. Anyway, it's time for the race.
A warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku, and home, of course, of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners, and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today. So our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. Baku City Circuit then, it's an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Russell, Perez, Martinez, Hamilton, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Albon, Gasly, Ricciardo, Chadwick, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Joe, Sonoda and Logan Sargent. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And we welcome you to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and I'm joined by Anthony Davidson. Well, this is the most advanced sport anywhere on the planet. How's it changed since you were last racing?
The cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance, but because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
So now we're going to put the 110 AI to the test in the race. We're going to find out exactly what their race pace is like. So for this one, starting P6, very good qualifying, very happy with the car. Leclerc just put in an absolute belter of a lap. There's no other way to put it. He just dropped an absolute, just incredible lap, which dropped everyone by half a second or more. So you can't argue with that. We're only a 10th off P2 in qualifying, so decent performance. Also, Jamie Chadwick seems to be actually on some decent pace, so kind of confirming the car's upward trend, the upgrades working well. Now for this one, I'm going to keep it simple. We're going to stick with the plan, which is a one-stop, medium to hard. Very, very straightforward. Potentially could go medium soft, but that would depend on the medium tyre wear over the race. But yeah, either way, the hard's going to last basically forever. So that tyre is an absolute brick. So in some ways, we may take the medium a few extra laps if it means we have better pace. Fuel-wise, I'm going for 0.5 extra. That should be fine. Again, with the new patch, I'm not too sure what to expect. So in case they have tweaked something, I want to just keep, a bit in the bank, just in case for a bit of precaution. But yeah, overall, we're ready to go. So let's get into it and let's try and hopefully get some more big points. So here we go. Time for the race. I'm looking forward to this one because I want to hopefully have a competitive race versus the AI. Now, Norris has opted for hard tyres. As you know, he's one of our championship rivals, the other one being Carlos Sainz in P3 and of course Verstappen in P2. Anyway, feeling good. Everything looks good. Let's see how this goes. It's time for Baku. Right, let's get to it. Revs, lights, like the video, subscribe, and we're away. Quick 5 lights, it's not a good start. Have to go late on the brakes here to try and challenge Hamilton down the inside, who's still there. Into turn 2, straight.
We're accumulating somewhere on the MGUK. To manage this, we're going to need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
I was saying straight back up the inside on Hamilton there. But now he goes up the inside of turn 3. We'll leave space on the inside. It should give us a better exit. Through turn 4. He's gone around the outside. That's a good move. So now we're going to have to go around the outside again here. We're going to go super deep on the brakes and just...
Right, we've got a very worn out MGUK. Our battery charge speed is suffering, and if it gets much worse, we could be forced to retire.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Either way, I had to go super deep there around the outside of Lewis at the chicane, but we made it work. Taking a bit of a risk with these old components, but if we get through the next 2 races with these, then we should be fine for the rest of the season with what we have left. So that's going to be part of the struggle. We really took our grid drop, of course, back in Monza, which worked out extremely well, winning the race, of course, from the back of the grid, starting last. Now, I do fear our straight line speed might be a touch low, so we might be on the battery quite a bit this race. But I just want to see now, live in living colour, exactly what we're working with. Now, we're going to leave in hot lap, so that will work pretty well in 8th gear down the pit straight. And it seems like the AI are actually flashing, so we're not going to get a truly accurate example here, but that's okay. We can save.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
So Norris battling with Lance Stroll further back. That's going to break the DRS train. Let's just focus now on trying to get some battery back. We're good in the middle sector, so we should be able to keep up with these guys. And hopefully we don't get dropped. Okay, this is fine. We've got good pace. Not great pace, but good pace. I think I can't quite get close to Perez at the moment, but we're keeping Hamilton behind. So that's a start. We can hopefully look to get comfortable here and manage things. I want to try and charge the batteries if I can a little bit.
Tyre condition still looking good.
But yeah, things are looking good so far. Hopefully they'll just get better. The AI tend to struggle on worn tyres, so we'll keep an eye out for that. The train's completely broken behind. Norris is now 4 seconds adrift battling with Stroll, so that's good news for the championship. It means we will hopefully likely outscore Lando today, so all focus now turns to Sainz ahead. Just been dropped here by Perez. Gonna have to use battery, but I think I might lose it. He's pushing and I don't have DRS. Sargent out. No safety car though. We'll get back into Perez's DRS. The AI seem to really use all their battery throughout the lap and in the first part of the back straight, so they have nothing left on the second part, so they just derate and go super slow down the pit straight. It's worth bearing that in mind for when we potentially go for overtakes. But at the moment, we're just starting to lose a bit of ground here, so I'm going to have to use a battery. I'm not getting a chance to save at the minute. Right, that was a better lap. Hamilton sticking with me for the ride here, but we've got ourselves within Checo's DRS, and he doesn't have DRS on the top 4, so he could be vulnerable if we try and set up a move. It won't be this lap, but maybe we can get a bit closer, and this time next lap we can have a look at getting past. Right then, we're close on this one. We've done a good job this lap to close in. We had a very good first sector, which is where I'd usually lose a lot of time, and then of course we're good in the middle. So now through here we know the AI and their battery issues, so we should naturally gain and be able to pass him here in hot lap mode. Here we go. DRS. Perez actually stops flashing, so he gets back on the battery. Around the outside of turn 1 we go, leaving lots of room on the inside, and we go through. Perez straight back up the inside of turn 2. I don't have DRS, so we're going to have to defend. We'll go to the inside and try and force him out wide, which he goes for. Try not to miss my braking point. Leaving space, come on. Braking super late into turn 4 so we can get ahead and in front, and there we go. Had to work for that. Perez giving us a good fight. Possibly doing an undercover job for Verstappen, of course, the championship leader. But we're through. But what was or what would have been a sub 2 second gap to Sainz is now over 3 seconds. So this is going to be a tricky one to claw back. The good news is I know I'm not going to get overtaken on the pit straight unless they're right on my gearbox, because the AI have that battery issue. So they should derate. But let's just see if I can try and break Checo here, who seems to be a little bit far back. Hasn't had the best middle sector, so we might have a shot at potentially breaking him here. I'm in a little bit deep. Pushed a bit too much through that corner, but we've still actually put a reasonable dent into the Perez gap. We'll keep the battery on. We might just be able to break DRS here, possibly. Not quite. I've run out of battery there, but we'll keep pulling away here. So Checo might be under some pressure from Lewis. Right, let's keep it rolling. That was good. Got a really nice run there. Managed to break DRS with Checo. Let's see if I can try and keep that gap and consolidate. Oh, little brush at the wall there, little tap, little love kiss. Run in a bit deep again there, but we've done okay. Checo's going to try, but I think this time we've got it. Another brush of the barrier, but we've got what we want. We've broken DRS. Hopefully now Perez can battle with Hamilton, and they'll also lose time like Stroll, Norris, Alonso further back. Looking at tyre wear early on, I'm leaning towards possibly fitting softs on the second stint. I know they don't last very long.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
But let's see how this develops. Good pace. I'm happy to go long at the moment. Try something different on strategy. Gap under 2 seconds for the first time. That's what it should have been when we passed Perez, had we got a clean pass. We're quicker right now, and I think we're getting quicker. As I mentioned, when tyre wear kicks in, the AI tend to struggle, especially rear tyre wear, limited circuits. So I'm happy to go long here and see how this goes. This should be the, now lap 11, the scheduled pit stop lap.
Push now, we're boxing this lap.
Gap 1.4. Let's see who boxes then, and we'll see what the race is looking like. 2 in, 2 out. Leclerc, Verstappen in, Sainz, Russell out. Okay. We could potentially get within their DRS by the end of this lap if we keep this pace up. First warning there, just taking a bit too much of a haircut out of the hairpin's apex. But we're pushing to try and get DRS there on Sainz. We're close. And there we go, we've just got within a second. We're so good through the castle, we're getting so much time. Sainz is burning battery here, so we're going to have to use a little bit just to make sure we hang on to DRS, which we do. So now Sainz Russell will box, and we will go out a few more laps and stay long. I feel like this is the right strategy for us. We need to build a massive offset because the hard tyre just does not wear. There's no, you know, significant drop off on that tyre. So I'm talking like we need to go to lap 20 to have any sort of offset. And the softs will only last about 2-3 laps if we go for this, but it's the only way I think we can try something different and potentially look to pass them. So in the meantime, you can see the wall on hard, so we can compare the gaps and see the pace we're doing. So let's just keep an eye on that for now.
Right, Jamie's coming in for a stop.
They're all close. You never know if they do battle. That'll be valuable time for us to gain. Here we go. Verstappen, Leclerc battling into turn 1, turn 2. This could work. This could be game on. The pace was good anyway in clean air, but this is going to really help us. Oh, first signs now. The tyres are starting to give out a little bit. Also, the gap is starting to come down now from Verstappen, 14.5. It's not a lot though. It's coming down very slowly, which is still a good thing. You know, the less it comes down, the better. So let's keep it going. Stay focused. They're battling again. This is good. Also, interestingly, there's a group of cars approaching behind. A McLaren, I think Perez. There's a few approaching and catching up. I wonder if that's Norris who hasn't boxed yet. That would explain it somewhat, but either way, there are some cars catching up to that group of 4 behind. Leclerc's the fast one. He's pulling everyone along. Verstappen's now P4 and seems to be potentially struggling. I wonder, you know, considering he was leading after the pit stops, if potentially he may have got some damage in that bit of battling they had amongst themselves. If so, that would be massive for the championship because, you know, Verstappen and Sainz are our rivals. Leclerc, Russell are not. A few more laps though and we'll box. Lap 20. Right then, here we go. Leclerc is absolutely flying, but we've put in a good shift here. Very good stint. The AI definitely are quicker because I've done this before in the past and I haven't lost as much time as this, so they're definitely a bit quicker. Anyway, we're going to box. We're going to throw some soft tyres on, which we have ready to go. Push the pit entry as much as possible. Don't speed. Lovely. Right. We're going to be probably behind Perez, to be honest, looking at this, and by a decent chunk. But the softs should hopefully work really well, especially for the first 2-3 laps here. So we're looking to climb back through the field and also go for the fastest lap of the race.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Actually, we get ahead of Perez quite comfortably, so we'll take that. And there's a yellow flag right now in Sector 3. Oh my god. Don't tell me now we're going to get a safety car or VSC. I mean, I'll take it, but oh my god, imagine if we'd done Monza all over again. Gasly out. Looks like no safety car though. Anyway, P6. And now we climb. Hamilton, first target. Now within a second of Hamilton, we'll have DRS, 2 purple sectors to our name. Gonna have to use a little bit of battery here just to make sure we get DRS. Although I'm a little bit far back to challenge him here, I think, so we may have to wait until the run down towards turn 3, potentially. but we can try and use this straight to close in. We should also get the fastest lap of the race here. There it is. So just close in through here and set up a move for the next straight if possible. There we go. Don't have a ton of battery for this, but we'll try another go. Hamilton defends aggressively. Around the outside we go though. Way more grip, momentum. That's P5. And now we chase again for more points and a podium ahead. And now we've got DRS on Sainz. If we finish ahead of him today, we move to second in the championship. But it's not going to be easy. He's going to have DRS on Verstappen as we brush the wall again there. I've been taking lots of risk at times during this race. Purple middle sector, kind of highlighting how quick we went through there. I don't think we'll go for a faster lap here. We'll see. Actually, no, I'm getting a slight bit of slipstream here from Sainz. I've also got a bit of battery, so we are going to go slightly quicker. But now we've got 2 laps to try and pass these guys. It looks like Leclerc's broken away. So this is battle for P2. I don't think the win is on, but P2 is certainly on. If we can outscore Verstappen and Sainz, that would be huge. Oh, hello. Sainz a bit slow. Give me that. Give me that. Let's go. Let's go. Got a great run through the chicane. Got way more grip on these tyres and traction. That's a great move. Now we can get Verstappen, hopefully. I'll use a decent bit of battery. Not all of it. I want to try and save some. But the AI, we know what they're like. Verstappen's flashing. There it is. He's got DRS on Russell, though, but he's still flashing. Hello. We might have a shot. Now Verstappen's using a little bit. Up the inside. Oh, yes. What a send. Verstappen's back, though, for more. Got to leave some room. But the outside line is always going to win around the outside of turn 2. So now we can try and potentially get Russell at the line. Let's see. We'll try and push and close in. This is going to be close. I'm going full send. Trying to keep my battery for this part. A little bit wide there. Bit of oversteer. Oh, I don't think we've got enough. Still, we've beaten Verstappen and Sainz. That's what matters. Russell's flashing. Hello, we might still have a shot here. I'm going to get the battery on now. DRS. Ah, just a bit far back, I think. Damn.
Yes, great drive, great drive. Everyone here is really happy with that performance. Well done, mate.
What a performance! He's left the field behind. Charles Leclerc wins it.
A great display of dominance today by this driver. They led from lights out to the flag at the end, led every lap of the race. Brilliant stuff by them, and excited to see what more they can do in future races.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Well, there we go. Very, very good day in the office. Charles Leclerc wins in Baku, George Russell second, and we do pick up a podium with the very alternate strategy, which worked out well in the end. I thought it was worth a gamble. We was actually catching before the pit phase, but the AI's pace on the hards was actually quite good, especially in the fresher tyre phase. But we get the fastest lap, so in the end, everything worked out well. And also worth noting, Jamie Chadwick, P13. her best result of the season, and that is very encouraging. Who knows, maybe for next year, she might turn it up for the end of the season possibly, but that's a very encouraging result. Elsewhere, in terms of the points, obviously we outscore Sainz and Verstappen. Verstappen actually got P5 and got overtaken by Sainz, so even less points for Maximilian. So let's have a look at the standings, shall we, and delve into things. So Verstappen leads. We're 42 points behind. We overtake Carlos Sainz and we're 2 points ahead of him. We've now got a respectable lead over Norris and Leclerc. And speaking of Norris, he scored no points at all. He finished way down the order in this race. Now, we'll go back to the results in just a second. In the Constructors, we're 5th. Realistically, I think it doesn't matter what I do. Mercedes are just too far away. If I don't have a teammate, we can't dance. So yeah, we're going to have to probably wave a white flag and accept P5 in the Constructors, but it's definitely up for grabs. Red Bull v Ferrari, possibly McLaren in there as well. But yeah, let's quickly go back into the race results. Now, if we scroll down, Lando finished P20, last on track. So the amount of time he lost in that initial battle in the first stint, and then obviously starting on hards, boxing for mediums later on, it just didn't work out. Really horrific race for Lando and McLaren. So there's your lot. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. In the meantime, you're going to have the post-race fallout on screen right now, so go check that one out, guys, if you haven't seen it, because we should gain quite a healthy bit of acclaim, and I think we should be only 1 rank away from unlocking another secondary sponsor. Also, we should have, cash payouts, all that good stuff. Slight damages, of course, from qualifying, but generally a good weekend for us, and we move on to the next one around Singapore. So guys, cheers for watching. As always, a massive shout out to the members for supporting the channel, and also check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them, guys, for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one very soon.